going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Skyxx148 podcast in the 19th episode of this podcast. And I am super excited to start this because I didn't do last week's podcast, and we're here. We're going to have a fun podcast. We have someone joining us for this podcast, which I'll get into here shortly. But yeah, if you would like to, follow me on all social medias, Skyxx148 on Instagram, Skyxx148 on Twitter, and all those links are in the bio. Also, if you have not yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel because that would mean the world. It would mean the world if I can get a plaque up there, and it would just be awesome. So go ahead, subscribe if you would like, and it would mean everything. So what's recent in my life? Well, I'll go over that in a little bit, but I have something to do first. What will be in the podcast today? We're about to go through that. So without a shadow of a doubt, let's introduce today's co-host, Joseph.
Thank you, Michael. That was amazing.
Thank you. So, hi, Joseph. Welcome. If you'd like to plug your socials, go ahead.
Oh, I'm all good with that.
All right, cool. Well, Joseph is the broseph. Yes. So, Joseph, how was your day? What's recent in your life?
My day's been pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't watched a single episode of Wandavision until today. Until today. I got up at 1 this morning and I've been watching it all day. I sat on my couch. It never really caught my attention at first, but now I'm pretty invested.
Yeah, you're probably excited for the episode.
Oh my God. I was waiting.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting every week when it's been coming out. So yeah, that's all that's recent with your life?
Yeah, pretty much. Everything's been pretty slow, quiet, not too much going on. If I want something to happen, I'll call up one of my friends, be like, "Hey, you want to go do something?"
Yeah, exactly. What's recent with my life is I have just been doing schoolwork, musical stuff, and I went out to dinner tonight during the COVID for the first time in a long, long time. So that was super fun. Me and Joseph have become friends, and he's now on the podcast here. So, Joseph, what is your role in this podcast so far today? What will it be? What is it?
I was told co-host. I don't know what.
Yeah, I know that's what you were told, but I just thought you would say for yourself,
I'm co-host and nobody can take that away from me.
No one can take that away from you.
No one can take that away from me. It's mine.
No, not at all.
And that's at all.
Nope. Joseph is today's co-host. We'll see if he ever wants to join a podcast in the future. That's up to him.
But I'll definitely want to.
Oh yeah, we'll get all that set up because I'm thinking next episode is going to be me going over some of or my past season of podcasts, because what I'm going to do here is the next episode is the 20th episode, and the 20th episode will mark like one season in the podcast. So yeah, I'm going to be going over the episodes, maybe some more stuff. I'll figure it out. But that will be next week, hopefully, and I won't skip another week. Been very incoherent on that.
Well, with school and all, COVID being the amazing party crasher that it is, things have been a little tough.
Yeah, they have been tough, but there's not much else we can do. So, Joseph, how do you know me?
I know you. Freshman year, second semester. I had a complete schedule change because I decided, hey, now I want to do a bunch of different classes. So got my schedule changed, moving around the school, lunch period change. So I don't have as many friends as I used to, except Vance. Vance was in my biology class. And as soon as I walked through those, cafeteria doors, I saw him and I was like, I'm sticking by him. I met, Vance at the lunch table, eventually got familiar with all of his friends, and I want to say that was you as well. Because it was you, Andrew, Griffin, Trent, Kiara,
Yeah, and Anthony.
and Anthony.
Yep.
Right, I haven't talked to any of them except for Andrew a few times, but you're really the first one that I've seen sophomore year. So I
Right.
decided, hey, why not talk to an old friend?
Yeah, exactly. And I saw, we saw each other at that table the whole time, but what really stuck out is your art because
Oh,
you are an artist, sir,
I am.
and your art is amazing. Yeah, so we're going to go into that a little bit, but hello Joseph, nice to meet you. That's my mother.
Hi, Mom. It's nice to be here. I'm a big fan of your son's YouTube videos. I recently, that would have been a lie. I saw one of his videos pop up. It was the one about you pulling out a Charizard,
Oh, yes, that
pulling a
classic.
Charizard out of a pack. I read the little, closed captions because, on my phone I can just scroll on a YouTube video and it'll start playing on its own without me having to actually click on the video. And I was reading the captions, and you sounded so excited to get that card from that card back that your mom bought for you.
Yep.
I'm
That
gonna
that
watch
was
that
quite the
video.
moment. I just had to pull out my phone and start recording for YouTube because
You
yeah.
were ready to record too. Like you had
Oh
that
yeah.
camera out.
Oh yeah. My childhood has been recording YouTube videos for like 6+ years now, so I'm not camera shy, you could say. Yeah. So
Maybe that helps you in plays, musicals, because I know you're going to be in Grant's what, Peter Pan?
yes, Peter Pan.
Glad you have me backstage for you.
Yeah. And what are you, set crew? Hey,
Set crew, yeah. Designing stage, and I'm gonna be helping build it.
that's awesome. I heard Sierra talking about a possible elevated platform in the back of the theater, and that's going to be interesting.
I think so. I don't know too much of what's going on because a lot of the whole plan is kind of out of what I really do because I basically designed with Mac the whole layout of what's going on, and we had to get the materials. So we're like checking off different things that would actually work and what wouldn't, because when we actually got to the store, some things didn't really want to fit in what we were doing. The best things that they had just wasn't enough, or it was way too much. So a lot of the actual planning of what's really going to happen is done by all the girls that know Miss Zegler a lot more than I do.
Yeah, yeah, but in acting rehearsals, Sierra's just talked a lot. She's like, "I want a tree there. I want an elevated platform, this and that," and I I'm curious to see how it all eventually comes into fruition because we're just a high school production. We don't have a Broadway budget, a Broadway everything, so it's gonna be exciting to see how it goes. I know the fall play for last year that set was decent. We'll see.
I met Miss here, was it Tuesday, for the first time since freshman year, and it took her so long to realize who I was.
Oh my.
Like, she had no idea, and I kept like trying to drop hints, trying to tell her who I was, and then she's like, Max? Max, is that you? I
Oh
swear to
my.
God, I looked at her with this look of just, you're so close. You're so close. I just told her my name, and she sounded like she didn't even want to be there in the first place.
Oh my
But that was
god.
fun. Miss Sears' class was fun. It was.
Her class? What class did you join?
I had her for English freshman year.
Oh, there. That's fun.
Mm-hmm. The Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, yeah.
We had to act that out.
Oh boy.
We ended up taking what, 2 weeks, 2 weeks longer than it was supposed to be.
That makes sense for Miss Sear. We in my class I had Mr. Gradowski, so
Mm, I
it
remember.
wasn't a good English class. We can get into that later, but we just read it off, and then it took like a week, 2 weeks. That was essentially it. Yeah, but we're getting a little off topic here. But I'd like to mention we had 7 viewers, 6 now, which is more than I've had in a decent amount of time. So 6 people watching this YouTube stream, this podcast. If you would like to comment and ask us questions of any sort, because I know you guys might have questions for Joseph or Ricky. Um, so just put them in the chat, and I'll put them up on the screen, and we shall answer them. So Joseph, tell us about yourself. You know, what do you do? We already said you're an artist. Would you like to go into that?
I mean, if you'd like me to, I'm
Yes,
kind
please.
of drawing something right now. Um, no, I've always been messing with pencil, paper, whatever, pen, anything I can get to, because like I gotta keep my hands busy,
Hmm.
and an easy thing for me to do that is pick up the pencil and start drawing.
Right.
Always used it as like an escape out. If I wanted to de-stress, I just start drawing anything that comes to mind. But I started figuring out, oh wow, I'm actually kind of good at this. So I took a couple classes in school, and turns out I have a very easy time figuring out what details need to go where, how to put just the right amount of pressure on a pen to make it pop out without bleeding the ink everywhere, and just, kind of hard, difficult things that other people might have to go through when drawing something really fly by when I seem to do it.
Yeah,
I've worked with it for about all my life now. No, I really like it.
for sure. I mean, it's definitely a stress reliever. Um, I should show you some of my art. It's not the best, but it's there.
A lot of people said that their art isn't good, and that usually comes from, the artists themselves being their own worst critic. Like
That's true.
I say all of my art is garbage because I think, like, deep down, I think it's bad, and that, no one's really gonna like it. But then everybody tells me, "Oh my God, it's so good! Like, Jesus, how did you get this good? Can you teach me?" Or giving me so much support. And of course, like, I take it, and I take the compliments. I use the advice that anybody gives me. I come up with this masterpiece, and then I look at it, and I'm like, this is hot garbage. So many times I've wanted to just throw something away, but I end up not doing it. Sleep on the idea, come back, and I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and I think your art's amazing. But yeah, I think you could definitely sell some of those pieces, and I
No,
mean that could be a future. You
I've
could
been
sell
looking
for it.
into that.
Oh yeah, you can easily. I can easily see you doing like commissions of some sort. I mean, h- how long does it usually take to draw one of those?
If I'm in a good mood, probably a day.
A day. So maybe like for a days of work, you maybe like $50 if that's reasonable to you, or like something like that, and get your money or like get commission for it. Yeah,
See, I feel bad asking people for money. So if I'm being honest, I'm probably just like at most gonna ask 20 for it if I have a frame, maybe 30 or 40.
yeah,
But like, it's to me it's not work. It's a fun pastime, and hey, I'm making money off it.
yeah,
So no
and
need to break their legs.
right. I mean, it's Still an idea. So we got questions here from DRX D Wolf 77. Do you play Minecraft?
I do play Minecraft.
Amazing. Joseph, what's your best drawing?
Thanks, Mitch. I don't know. I like to say my best drawings are my favorite ones. But, when you put that in perspective, my favorite could be something completely garbage to someone else and not be very good. But I'd say that my best drawing is the first pen drawing that I made. And if I can find that, it's this one. I found it. I found a reference photo off the internet, and I decided to put this into pen. You want me to show this up?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh my god.
I agree that that's the best one. Or your favorite, but I agree that's the best one. The Joker's amazing.
I actually want to redraw this, and I've done so much more with pen since then. And, getting special markers, whatever, getting different size tips. I've done a lot better with shading, different techniques. So if I redraw this, I'm pretty sure it'll come out a lot better than it is now. And if I do that, it'll probably be my best one. But I've got some close seconds, close thirds that I've seriously, challenged on being the best one. Like this Ghost Rider, this was the third one that I've done, third pen drawing, and this is my baby.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
These two, I can't tell. Like, if I were to sell one, I really wouldn't know which one I'd sell.
Honestly, I think if you were to sell those, you should make prints of them and not sell the original copy.
Now, I'm not sure how I would do that too, because like I said, I like really followed the reference photo.
Yeah.
And if I start selling them for whatever my own gain, somebody could be like, "Oh, that's mine."
I mean, I don't think so because you're using reference images. You're not just like directly copying and pasting the image. So it's like it's not copyright. I don't think. Next question is how fun is Set Crew and would you recommend Ricky joining?
It's very fun. Set Crew is it's easy. There's not too much work to do, I'd say, because all the work that I've done has really been designing, and since how I am with art, that goes by pretty quick. And then the building portion of it, I really don't. Right now, I don't want to get into that because it's not anything fun or it's not catching my eye. I definitely want to, pick up a drill, a hammer, anything, screwdriver, and start, putting wood together to make the set, which is going to be, I'm not sure if I should say it's just a boat. It's just a big boat.
Yeah.
We haven't really started doing anything too big with the set since we need to get all the materials in place. But it's been fun. Now, after all the work, really got nothing to do. You can stick around, see if you want to help other people out, or you can start walking around the school, and that's usually what I do. I'll grab my friends and we'll just lap around the school, or we'll go to the gym and watch everybody play, practice basketball, volleyball. I've gone into the weight room a couple times. And that was fun. Oh my god, Grant's weight room is it's a magical place to me. It's so fun. Maybe that's just because I like exercise, but
yeah. So set wise, is it just gonna be a big boat, or are you gonna have the Darling house as well?
I think so. I think we're gonna make Because as far as I know, it's I think the house and then definitely the boat. Because the
Yeah.
boat is gonna be, I think, the whole stage. Because you guys are gonna
Social
be
distancing
doing,
and all
yeah,
that.
social distancing, doing you guys' thing, and then we're gonna like, I think, have a drone come up over and record some cool shots of you
Yeah.
guys doing your thing.
From my end, from the sounds of it, sounds like you guys are doing the house, the Darling House, Neverland, and
Hmm.
the ship. Those
Yeah,
main three.
I haven't done much designing for anything but the ship. Like it's just the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I am with it. I know for sure the Darling House and Neverland. We're doing. You know, I really don't know. We're at Menards, looking for rope, paint, and other little things to put on the ship. We cross the turf section, like with all the rugs, the turf, fake grass, anything, outdoors related. And everybody that was there was talking about the Darling House. And I think, because I think it was the Darling House. I wasn't paying attention really. I was just on my phone. But no, I'd have to ask around if you want. I can get some more info on what it's gonna look like and how everything's gonna be.
Oh, for sure. I'd love to see it.
But I
Or
know
see it, hear
things,
it.
yeah, I know things are going very well, and we're putting a lot of effort into how things are looking.
That's awesome. And I'm just curious to see what it's gonna look like eventually. I mean, I'll hear
Well,
things,
me too.
but I'm just curious because I've seen some of the Darling sets that are like multiple sections, or it's just like one. It's like some interesting angles, like the Broadway set, and with the doors for Peter Pan to come in the middle. And I'm excited to see like how you guys are gonna do that. You're just gonna like flip some things around. And it's Neverland. You're gonna take things off stage. I mean, our stage doesn't have very much space to store things, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how it is. But yeah, next question from Ricky is: what age did you start drawing, and would you consider pursuing an art career?
I really don't know what age. As far back as I can remember, I was probably like 3 or 4. And one of my first memories was waking up and asking my dad if I can have uh, my crayon. I guess I had a special crayon. No, it was to the edge. That's how little this thing was. That's how much I've used it. But it was my special crayon. And God knows what I give to have that crayon back as a memory. But I asked my dad for a paper and my special crayon, and I drew Spider-Man. It
Oh,
was hot garbage, but that is, my first memory of really having, like, doing art, drawing in general, and I just haven't stopped then.
right.
My dream job was actually to become a tattoo artist.
Oh,
So,
that's a good idea, or that's a good job.
I'm gonna give people tattoos on their face, forearms, make sure that they can't get jobs, completely ruin their lives.
You're gonna tattoo the
I'm gonna
names
tattoo
on
their
it.
face. I'm gonna tattoo their ex's name on their neck.
Yeah.
Gonna completely ruin their life. But yeah, I think
I
that would be the closest thing to pursuing an art career.
yeah, I think. I mean, that's a really good job. Definitely go down that. But if you would like, of course. Now I thought maybe I'd show you something. I did my own Joker and Batman
Oh,
drawing a
nice.
little bit of time ago.
Oh, I like that. I did something close to that with pen, but I'm not sure where it is.
um, this is the best thing I have to show. Really, a Captain Marvel, very weirdly sized.
I'm thinking, because I like the shading on it. The proportions are amazing. You know, I've got to give credit where it's due. But I think if I can find it, I did this Captain Marvel drawing and I haven't really shown anybody because I started it and haven't really finished it. And you just reminded me, oh wait, I need to do that. God, I'll do that probably tomorrow. But
Works.
yeah, no, those are good.
Also, um, I'll have to show you the original, but in 2016, when I was a little younger, my mom's like, "You should draw a picture of Knox from Six Flags and give it to him." I drew it. I gave it to him. It was very crappy, but then in 2018 and forward, I decided to make it a point to draw it every year to see how my drawing improves. So here you got 2018, if you could even see that,
I can see it.
with fire and all that crap. And then it progresses, and you got 2019.
I can definitely see the progression.
Yup. Good stuff. Good stuff.
It's great stuff. Good shit, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I'm gonna pursue a tattoo artist career as well to ruin people's bodies.
Do you want me to tattoo Knox on your back?
Oh, sure. You know, actually, I want you to tattoo some Hamilton lyrics to my wrist.
Mhm.
Not wrist, arm.
Mhm.
Somewhere on my arm.
Somewhere in your arm. I'll have it
Somewhere.
right here.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
here.
yeah. Or like my inner arm here.
I'm getting an anchor tattooed either on my forearm or somewhere on my back.
Not a
Like
bad
on my
idea.
shoulder blade. Probably on my shoulder.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to get that for my 16th birthday.
Yeah. Another question from Ricky. Question for both of you. What is your favorite video game?
Bro. You know, SpongeBob SquarePants, Guardians of Atlantis for the Nintendo DS.
Beautiful, beautiful. I don't have a definitive favorite game, but it's Minecraft, and Minecraft is like my all-time favorite if I had to say one, and then my current favorite would be like Cyberpunk 2077.
I've tried Cyberpunk. It never really caught on. Maybe it's just the storyline or the way
Yeah.
it's played, because it reminds me a lot of like GTA mixed with Red Dead.
Oh yeah, yeah. I found it super interesting. Like I got connected to the story and felt very I felt weird after it all ended. I'm like, damn, there's no more of that.
No, I've definitely had the feeling because I'm in love with the God of War Sega, the God of War franchise, Sega, whatever it is. I played all of the games, and when I got God of War 4 for the PS4, I instantly fell in love with that game, and I was just grinding every day, trying to get as far into the plot as possible because, oh my god, that storyline was so amazing, and I can say so many good things about the game until it ends, because now I want it to keep going.
Yeah.
I hated the ending.
Ah,
I hated the ending.
Yeah, that the ending is the worst part of all the games that you get connected to.
I didn't want it to end. I wanted it to keep going.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can blame me for getting mad at that. But
No. In Cyberpunk 2077, there's 6 different endings, but I was just so emotionally connected that I'm like, I don't want to do any more endings. I returned to do other side quests and missions, but I wasn't going to do any other endings.
I'm always looking for 100% completion.
Huh,
And I
yeah.
still haven't done that.
Ricky says he likes your Walter White drawing.
Oh. If I can find it, it's in here somewhere. I like that one too. I feel like, because I keep
pretty
going
nice.
back to it and I mess it up a bunch.
Oh boy.
It's not bad. It's a little fuzzy. That's the best way
Yeah.
to describe it, actually. It's fuzzy. I like that too, Ricky.
And then he also says, Michael, we should get Hamilton lyrics together. Maybe when I'm 18, we shall see.
When you're 18, I'm getting mine when I'm 16. Here we
Oh
go.
boy. Very nice.
Definitely around the cheese because I used pen, a little bit of marker, and graphite for this. So if I erase some of the graphite marks, then maybe it'll look a little less fuzzy because I kind of just scribbled it on there.
It looks really good through here because we're only getting like 720p cameras, a little lower. So I mean, it looks perfect through the video or our cameras of our Chromebooks. Yeah. Yeah. So that is all we really have for your art. Is there anything else you want to tell the stream, tell Ricky, the other 4 people watching? Any of that?
I don't think so, unless Ricky or any of the 4 other people watching has another question for me. I think I'm pretty good and set with where I am.
All right, awesome. And yeah, if you have any more questions for him, just put it in the chat. We will eventually get to them. Now, time for our headliner here, WandaVision. This is fresh in your mind, so you know what? I want to take it episode by episode and get your thoughts on here. Starting off, episode 1. What you thinking?
I'm not much for old sitcoms, but there was something about it, especially more towards the end, when it kind of broke character, kind of started getting more into the mysterious aspects of it. When I forgot his name, but Vision's boss started choking on his food.
Yeah.
And his wife was just sitting there smiling, going, "Stop it, stop it, stop it." Instead of like, your wife is choking at the dinner table, you just sit down, stare at her, and go, "Stop, stop." Like, that's not going to help anything. It was kind of eerie.
Right.
And no, everybody was just zooming into it. Vision, Wanda just staring at it, not doing anything while this poor man's about to die.
Right.
And it was alarming as like compared to the rest of the episode, and it definitely like made me want to sit down and watch the next one, because that was a complete change from the whole vibe of the episode. And it's those little things like that like that one change from, all happy, all cheery, from complete, this menacing vibe, or this, dark, something bad is about to happen feeling, right back to happy. It just pulls me in.
Right. Yeah, and that was the first moment in the show that I was like, damn, what's really happening here? Because it's straight away from what happens in sitcoms, and you got that serious moment. And then like when Wanda says, Vision, help him, that was the first kind of hint that she's controlling him in a way. But of course,
I didn't catch on to that.
Oh, well, I watched a shit ton of theory videos. I'll just say that.
I wanted to, but I haven't really gotten to that.
I've been doing that every week with every episode. But they released episode 1 and 2 on the same day. So yeah. Question for both of you. Do you have a favorite YouTuber? Do you have a favorite YouTuber, Joseph?
Jacksepticeye.
Amazing.
I grew up watching his old stuff, especially his Happy Wheels. I almost cried when he ended it with the 100th episode, and then I just stopped watching him.
My favorite YouTuber, I don't really have one, but I mean, I used to binge watch Stampy Cat, if you remember him.
Oh, I used to watch all his videos with my sister.
Oh, he used to be like the crap. I'd watch every single Funland video, and childhood right there.
And then I forgot the name of his friend. His skin was a bear.
Elfrely.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
he got into some trouble,
Yep. Yes,
and
he did.
that's where everything dropped. He started going from millions of views to only a couple 100,000. Minecraft just wasn't the same.
Right.
And I stopped watching him when he left because I remember it just wasn't fun anymore.
No, it wasn't.
Also, we kind of grew up, but we don't talk
Yeah,
about.
that's very true. But I will still respect Stampy Cat and all them for the memories.
Oh my god, the memories. I'll like lay down at night remembering what things were like when I was younger and just how easy it was to just sit down, start watching, Stampy Cat or like I said, Jacksepticeye, favorite YouTubers, even our favorite fucking movie.
Right.
Without a care in the world. But now we got school, we got COVID, we got things to worry about.
Yes, we do. Some of us girlfriends. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But it takes us back to a good time. Ricky says your podcast is relaxing. You're thinking about having an upload schedule. Um, I mean, I try to. I have one every. I try to do this every Wednesday, and in terms of regular YouTube videos, I have no idea what the hell I'm gonna do. So maybe Six Flags vlogs or some crap like that. Once I'm able to.
Are you gonna
So,
turn into a vlogger?
oh God, I don't know. Maybe some stuff. I mean, because I would like to grow a following. My dream would be 100K to get that plaque on my wall. You know.
Just don't film a dead body.
Oh no, 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 never,
Or
never.
maybe do it for clout.
Yeah, that's true. I can get a spot on Keemstar's YouTube channel real quick. Ginger Films Dead Body. Ooh.
Call him out right now. Start beef with Keemstar.
Yeah, Keemstar. Screw you.
I challenge you to
I challenge you to put this YouTube or put this clip into your channel and link it or link my YouTube channel in your bio
no
and tell your
balls.
subscribers to subscribe.
You won't do it, Killer Keemstar.
No, you won't. So back on the topic of WandaVision. Episode we're just gonna do episode 2 and 3. Go. Thoughts.
2 and 3. 2 is where, I think colors kind of started showing in, right? And that's definitely where a lot of the more mysterious, eerie, crazy things were starting to happen because in the beginning of the episode, it was that helicopter that had the sword crest symbol on it. And I remember looking at that, I was like, interesting. Let's see where this takes us. Because now we're getting a glimpse of color in a all black and white world.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a sitcom. I can just like imagine being in the 1950s, and seeing this random spot, like this just spot of color when there shouldn't be any color. I'm like, whoa,
Oh yeah.
whoa.
For sure. And episode 3, I think episode 3 was just okay. It was just her being pregnant and some shenanigans, some issues arise, but I don't think it was too out of the ordinary from other episodes. It was just sitcom with issues.
One thing that I did catch on and kind of like it just stuck with me until I figured out what was going on was when the beekeeper man that came out of the sewer,
Mm-hmm.
it came out of the sewer and he just looked at Wanda and she said no and rewinded everything,
Yeah.
completely changed. I was like, what the hell just happened there?
Yeah, that was a moment of like, Wanda? You okay, girl?
And because I had a theory by the third episode, which was kind of right, kind of not right at all. But this takes place weeks after Endgame, I want to say.
No, you're right
Or
on that.
yeah, weeks after Endgame. And I thought Wanda kind of just kept reversing time on her own to, see Vision again, and it kind of just manifested itself into this little anomaly hex, as they call it, where it just keeps going back in time, where, it was just her and Vision.
Yeah.
But we soon realized that's not the case.
Right. Yeah. And then we got episode 4. Episode 4 was, I feel like 1, 2, and 3 were good episodes, but it was kind of a drag. People who aren't normal MCU fans, some MCU fans that aren't like completely connected and watch all this stuff, I think it would have been a bore, and 1 to 3 would have been enough for someone to turn it off and not touch it again. But episode 4 is kind of where, crap went down. This is where the stuff, like the real lore and the story and everything really showed. I think episode 4 was really solid to get people's attention, and that's also where the show kind of gained its popularity in a sense.
I think at the end of the episode 3, that's where Wanda was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I got
forgot.
really interested. Things really took a turn and started getting interesting at the end when what was her name?
Monica. Her name is Monica. That's her real name. I think it was Geraldine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She mentioned Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is going on here? Because, oh my God. There was little things during episode 3 that I was catching on but kind of forgot about, especially when Agatha and what's his name, her husband, they were being really, really suspicious about, thank you, Mitch. Agatha and her husband were being really, really suspicious and, really cryptic about what was going on, because they were asking about where Monica was.
Mm-hmm.
And if Monica was with Wanda, and, getting Vision all worked up about it. And then we see that glimpse of Vision, in his dead state.
Yeah.
When he's talking to Wanda, and that was different.
That was.
Wanda, shoved Monica back through the house. I'm not sure how she's alive, and then through the hex all the way to the out and open world. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Things were really starting to be set in stone, being puzzle pieces were starting to fit in. And Sword was brought into this a lot more with episode 3, and then episode 4, like you said, it was a game changer. Things really started making sense with what was going on, but so much stuff happened in episode 4, and that's where things got really, really interesting.
Yeah. I have to agree. Then we go on to episode 5. Now, for the life of me, I don't think I remember exactly what happened besides Evan Peters. Sorry, I saw this weeks ago. So, could you give me a recap of the episode? I'll remember as soon as I hear it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Chief. I watched this hours ago, and I don't even remember.
Yeah, which goes to show, I think it was it wasn't a memorable episode besides Evan Peters, Quicksilver, showing up at Wanda's door
yeah.
at the end of the episode.
Wait, was that Quicksilver?
Yep.
Because it reminded me. Oh, okay. Because this was.
I don't think it's very iffy. People think it's either the Fox Quicksilver, it could be a version of the MCU Quicksilver, or an entirely new version. But it has to be Quicksilver because he has speed powers.
This It was supposed to be Wanda's brother.
Mm-hmm. Well, Quicksilver is Wanda's brother,
Well, yeah.
Pietro. I'm sorry, but I always thought his name was Pedro or something like that,
Me
not
too.
Pietro.
I thought it was Piedro. And that's what I called him, like, and I always pronounced the D as like Piedro or something like that. Um, and this was right before the Halloween episode, I want to say. But
Yeah,
I thought that was like insane because I kind of had an idea of what was going on with Vision and how he was there. But how was Pietro there?
oh right. This was right when Vision was going and doing some things. He was trying. I think he was figuring out that things aren't correct in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went to fight with Wanda, and they got sidetracked by Pietro. Right.
Especially with Vision, him like investigating on his own. He figured out he could tap into people's heads, and they were saying all these sorts of things like, "Oh, you need to stop her," or "Oh, you know,
Mm-hmm.
she's crazy," or "She's doing this. I can't get her out of my head." Like, I think I think Vision was doing a lot of snooping around. Um, Even when he was like, I know the way things were with him and Wanda. I feel like he was sticking his nose where it didn't belong a
Mm-hmm.
little too much. I don't know why. I just get this sense that if you love somebody, then you'd have this trust. You'd have this bond, and especially since they're married, and now she's always like, hey, it's okay, just don't worry about it. It's fine for the littlest things, because it seems like, if something little would happen, if somebody seemed a little off that day, he would go off with all these different theories. But then again, she was being mad sus about it too.
Of course. Yeah. And this still leads into episode 6. Episode 6, people. This was honestly the most iconic episode to me because them wearing their original comic book outfits was just super awesome, and it gave us a really good bit of information of just Vision going out and exploring and finding these strange things, Agatha trying to go out into the hex, and it was just a really good episode to further the plot and how interesting it was, and how at the end of it she started expanding the hex. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, like her expanding the hex to save Vision, that was so interesting. Like for the next week I was genuinely curious how the hell are they gonna come back after that, because she was doing some damage there, bringing people into her hex.
I I kind of came to the conclusion by episode 5 that she was kind of controlling things on her own. It was either
Hmm.
that or somebody else was doing it. I definitely thought like that they were trapped in this little world by somebody else, but more watching the episodes, as it goes on, I was like, "Oh wow, no, that is not the case at all," because Wanda was definitely controlling her own little world. And more towards the end of episode 6, as Vision started walking through the little town, seeing that everything was slowing down or people were just not moving at all, I thought, oh wow, it could be Wanda, you know making up the world as they go, because they're always together, like they're always
Hmm.
in the same place. And if not, he's not too far away. So I'm like, oh, could she be making everyone move, doing all these things as they're walking, or as they're, going through the town, to make it seem like everything's alive, because she wants to have this perfect life with Vision. But he kind of defied that and went out on his own and onto that street that Wanda told her kids not to go by. And I want to touch up on wrong choice of words there. Uh, I want to touch up on the whole topic of those two twins.
Yes.
Like, where the hell did they come from?
Um,
It seemed like they just popped right into existence.
do you follow the House of M storyline, or have you listened to any like theory videos at all?
No.
Well, essentially, the idea is that Agatha has something to do with the children and possibly a nightmare or Mephisto, which could be a devil in that or in the MCU universe, and um maybe like Wanda made a deal with them or something to have her children, or she has the power to like bring people to life, and maybe she just did it on her own willingness, even though she didn't know she was doing so. She doesn't know she has this power, but she brought them to life, and they're definitely going to be a influence past WandaVision because they're Wiccan in speed. Um, and they're gonna be
And they can age themselves.
yeah, and they're gonna be part of the Young Avengers. One of them's a gay character, so they're gonna use that as an LGBTQ representation in coming years, which is not a bad idea, but yeah. So yeah, episode 6 was just very interesting to further the plot, and then we get to episode 7. Immediately off the bat, it was weird how Pietro just vanished in a sense. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I thought Agatha had to do something with that
right.
because she like it's always when something's about to happen or something changes this turn of events that Agatha shows up. Like, what was it when Wanda found that red helicopter? Agatha pops up out of nowhere, completely changes the situation. Like, it almost like something, or it's almost, oh my god, there's a big spider right on my wall.
Oh
I'm gonna
my.
kill it. It's almost like she wants Wanda to not think about, this big change of event and just keep going on with her normal 1950s. Or now we're in like what, 1970s
We're in 2000s by this time.
by this time?
Yeah,
2000s.
by
Okay.
episode 7.
Um, it's almost like she's trying to stop Wanda or Vision from doing something that she doesn't want them to, or she's connected in it somehow. And later in the season, we find out that that's kind of the case.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was Agatha all along.
It's been yeah. Episode 7 was the time that we knew it was Agatha all along, and that amazing theme song played. But I think
She killed Sparky. I swear to God.
yeah, she did. But yeah, episode 7. I mean, I kind of felt like some of it was filler in a sense because
Yeah.
Vision Vision learned more about himself, got a little bit of freedom per se. Wanda got a little bit of an off day. The kids went over to Agnes's, and I think it was just filler until the end, pretty much till the end when we
Hmm.
got the reveal to make people excited for episode 8. Um, which brings us to episode 8. Unless you want to add anything else to episode 7.
Episode 7, that's when we kind of found out that Agatha was a witch.
Yep.
And, I was thinking, oh, is Wanda a witch or is Wanda, whatever. But, I had my doubts since she got her powers from the Mind Stone, or so we thought.
Yeah.
But, I was a little confused on how, Agatha kind of was there in the first place. Like, did she live in Westview, or did she kind of just pop in out of nowhere and play along?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm not quite sure, but I've heard some theories that maybe she uses kids for something, and the lack of kids in Westview maybe had something to do with Agatha, and maybe she helped Wanda through some grieving times because she has been a good character in the comics.
I think maybe Agatha is gonna have like a bigger role to play in the next season because there's gonna be a next season, hopefully.
I don't think so because it's a
Hopefully.
TV miniseries, and this leads directly into Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Hmm. I want to say Agatha might have a role to play in the new Doctor Strange,
Yeah,
as you
she
said.
100% does.
No, because I haven't been following a lot of the MCU's plans, other than the two movies that are coming out. Well, one of them has come out, the Wonder Woman and Black Widow, which I'm excited for Black Widow, and I want to know where that, how that goes, or where that plays in. But Wanda is a Scarlet Witch, and apparently that's supposed to be the myth, the strongest witch there is, the ability to create, right, like it's nothing. And we get to that conclusion when we start living Wanda's life, especially with her traumatic experiences, their parents, how they died, how her and her brother kind of had to survive on their own for a bit, and how they got affiliated with Hydra, which their experiments are very unethical. It seemed really interesting how they presented the Mind Stone to the two siblings.
Yeah.
And how did Wanda, this little kid from Sokovia, was she born with it, or was she, did she just have this thing with her, or was it all completely the Mind Stone? But I think she might have been born with it. This thing for magic, and the Mind Stone kind of just tapped into that and helped, grow it. And she turned out to be the Scarlet Witch.
Right.
Or
And
a Scarlet Witch.
again, like theories wise, people may think that possibly she's the daughter of a higher up in Hydra who could have given her like base powers that the Mind Stone enhanced, but though the parents we saw in the episode were her adoptive parents. Also, something
Okay.
to say is within these episodes, Monica is also getting her powers as Photon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little skeptical about that. I thought it was just her cells changing and she got this weird mutation because because mutants are a thing now.
Yeah.
Or they've been a thing. I was half expecting Captain Marvel to show up.
Right.
Because they were talking about her and how Monica was affiliated with Captain Marvel. I was half expecting Captain Marvel to show up and kind of pop in and slap some sense into Wanda, but I think that would have been too far of a stretch.
Yeah. And Monica is set to appear in Captain Marvel 2, so I think we're going to see something of that nature there. But yeah, have you watched past the credits?
Yes, and I saw the White Vision, or I don't know the name.
I think it's Spectral Vision, but we don't know yet. And did you watch the credits for the last episode too, with the Snooper's gonna snoop?
No.
Well, essentially, when Wanda's in the basement, I mean, you can go back and watch this. When Wanda's in the basement, Monica is up searching Agatha's house, and she stumbles across the cellar outside. She opens up, she sees all the weird crap that Agatha is doing, and then the camera pans behind her, and you see Pietro zoom up, and he's like, "Snooper's gonna snoop," and then it just cuts the like actual credits. Yeah, I mean, those are interesting, and I'm just excited to see how it's going to progress in episodes further. I mean, I know on the cast list for Googled, James Spader Ultron is listed, as a voice in the show. So maybe it's possible that James Spader is going to be voicing the Spectral Vision, and we're going to get some sort of clash off, some sort of fight between the two visions. I think Doctor Strange is going to show up here in the next episode. I mean, he kind of has to since it's leading in the multiverse of madness. I think the next episode is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be sad and heartbreaking too.
I definitely, going back to what we were saying before with the video games and how we didn't want them to end, I feel like we're going to get a lot of those feelings in WandaVision because now I'm invested. I spent literally the entire day watching all of WandaVision. I don't want it to end because now I'm, this has gone from 0 to 60 in such a short amount of time, and then with the last 2 episodes, that's 60 to 100. Like things have been catching, things have been clicking, puzzle pieces have been fitting, and it's just so much fun to watch all of these pieces fit in place and how the story pans out. And especially with the Spectral Vision?
Yeah, I
That's
think
what you
so.
said. Like that was such a huge tease and how the whole season is going to end. And I do think that Vision and Wanda's world and Spectral Vision are going to end up doing something, or maybe some version of the Avengers are going to show up because what's his name, that commander guy that wanted the Spectral Vision as a weapon. He's
Hayward.
probably Hayward. He's gonna have Spectral Vision do something. He's probably gonna go rogue. Do his own thing, or he's gonna be used as a weapon against Wanda, or something happens where the world's in danger again, or something's in danger again, and the Avengers, or what's left of the Avengers, are gonna have to step in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I think we got that all set up. So I think it's time we end the WandaVision segment here, and we're coming close to the end of the episode here, really too. But to close off the WandaVision, what do you hope to see in the next episode? What would you want to see that would be satisfactory for an ending?
Satisfactory for Vision to get his memories back. I want to see, because Agatha kind of teased Vision with the whole, you're an Avenger. No, you're here to save us. He doesn't even know what an Avenger is.
Yeah.
No, he's not the real Vision, because that's just Wanda's own interpretation of Vision, bringing him back to life. Like, I want to see what would happen if he got his memories back, and if he knew what happened and what really was going on, because he definitely got a lot of insight with, God, I can't remember names for anything, but later in the season, he got a lot of info on what was going on and what's happening and why Wanda's doing what she's doing, and how she's doing it a little bit, while Wanda's kind of dealing with her own thing with Agatha and the twins. But I feel like if Vision got his memories back and he knew a little more of what was going on, he could potentially kind of change the whole outlook of how things might end, especially with the Spectral Vision coming in. Because who knows, maybe Spectral Vision might, have the same memories as what Vision was going on. Because I'm pretty sure that they use his own body.
Yes. No.
Yeah, it's definitely a stretch, but
Yeah.
I feel like it would be really interesting.
Yeah.
And I see Ricky got gold 1 in hoops.
I think he means 1 hour.
No, he's talking about Rocket League.
Oh. Whoops. Now, if you think that's a stretch, you should listen to what I want, because I've just been listening to a shit ton of theories, and I think what I hope to see. So, Vision or Spectral Vision in the comics, um, he's definitely going to be a bad guy, and he doesn't have any memories. And I think he's going to face off against Vision, regular Vision, and they're both going to die somehow. And that's going to leave Wanda sad and depressed, and she's going to go off of Doctor Strange and do her own thing. At the same time, this might cause Wanda to create mutants, and this could lead into mutants and like X-Men of some sort. I hope to see Agatha not defeated. I want to see Agatha Harkness, definitely taken down, but I would like to see her sneak away when they get sidetracked by something, and so we see Agatha later on as some sort of baddie, or go away and sneak and see some sort of, or maybe she goes away, and in the end credits we see some sort of meeting with her, meeting some sort of big baddie for the next movie or franchise of the MCU. Also, Monica, I'd like to see Monica come help and fight, and Monica go off and do her own thing, maybe a Captain Marvel tease. I would like to see the aerospace engineers. People think that the aerospace engineer could be a Skrull, and the same Skrull that Monica talked to as a child when she was with Captain Marvel and her mother, house in that scene. So I want to see that revealed. Who is that person? Because they have to have some sort of significance. So I hope to see that be a Skrull. I would like to see the people of Westview freed. And that's all I can really say. I would like a good ending for Westview and the people in it, but I would like some sort of groundbreaking realization or event that affects the MCU so we can see more content in the future. That's what I want to see.
That's definitely a lot to unpack, but
Yeah.
I kind of agree with a lot of it. I definitely think that the Spectral Vision is going to be some sort of bad guy that plays into it, but I'm either thinking it's going to be like another Ultron, the devastating AI, or it's going to be in like another Vision, how he kind of just does his own thing, floats around, is good and somehow, or since there isn't really any AI, there's no Mind Stone, or they're using the energy from, what was it, that little missile, the helicopter thing?
Yeah.
That was infected with whatever Wanda had going on. It might be used as a drone, like of just mass destruction, because it seems more like a robot that you can control than a living person.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that pretty much ends our WandaVision discussion here. I know we didn't really get into Justice League and some other things that I had planned to talk about in the thumbnail, so I will probably be changing the thumbnail. If you see that on the podcast right now, if you don't see that and the thumbnail is already changed, well, that's what the podcast was sort of going to be. But we've reached an hour and almost 10 minutes at this point, which has been a long time, the longest I've done in a while. So thank you, Joseph, for coming on and
Thank you for letting me
having
on.
this good discussion. To the three of you that have been watching since the podcast started, thank you so much for tuning in. It means a lot that you watch all this. It gives my channel watch time, helps me with the algorithm and all that. And yeah, so if you would like to, follow me on my social medias, which will be down in the description below. And if Joseph would like his socials in the description below, I will also put them there. What else here? Remind to subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my podcast, because it would mean the world if I had a plaque on my wall eventually, and it would mean the world if I just had a viewership, and it would be amazing. What else to say? Mr. Talbot, if you're watching this when I plug this stream tomorrow in our Zoom chat, thank you so much for tuning into the end, even though you probably won't. Please give me 100% in the grade book. Thank you very much. Joseph, too. Joseph's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, yeah. That's all we really have. Joseph, do you got any concluding thoughts here?
Not that I can think of, other than, if I do join the podcast maybe next week or, another time, and we do end up discussing Justice League, I think I'd have some points to go over, because it seems it's actually coming out this month, I think.
Ooh, maybe instead of discussing it next episode, wait until Snyder Cut comes out, and that can be an episode.
Yeah. 4 hours of
4 hours?
4 hours. Snyder's
Jeez.
got longer than Endgame.
Jesus Christ.
And apparently it's supposed to be better too. Or it
my.
might be, complete hot garbage.
Yeah, that could be true.
Ooh, Ricky's got notifications on for you.
Thank you so much, Richard Rival, for having notifications on for me. I will now be spamming you with notifications. Thank you very much. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, tune in next week for another podcast, which will be the last podcast I do for this season of the Skyxx148 podcast, where we kind of revamp, do some new stuff, and it should be fun. So tune in next week. Maybe we'll see Joseph there. Maybe we'll see Joseph in the future, if not next week. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Bye!
See you next week, Michael.